Okay, we're live. Um, Welcome and thank you for those that are watching this LinkedIn live. Thank you if you're watching it as a recording later. Um, I just thought it'd be really interesting to share with you some of the marketers that I admire, some of the people that I chat to, spend a lot of time kind of talking to behind the scenes that you might not be aware of. So this is the first in a series of 5 sessions that I've already got lined up with marketers that have agreed to chat with me live on video. And I'm really excited that the first one is Leigh Hopwood, who we met several years ago through volunteering at local level, regional level, board level for the Chartered Institute of Marketing. We've talked quite a lot over the years about the volunteering, but also about the work that we both do as marketing professionals working with clients. So thank you, Leigh.
Pleasure. Hello.
Hello. And as planners, we couldn't but help do a little bit of planning around this session and what we might want to be talking about and sharing with you. And the topic that we thought would be really interesting that I asked Leigh to ponder about was about marketing planning and how to stay agile with your marketing plans, particularly without using all the cliche words at this time and situation that we're in. So Leigh, what do you think?
Well, should I use the word unprecedented?
There's a bingo game here. Yeah.
It's really interesting what we've seen if businesses have been able to demonstrate just how agile they can be. And what I find astonishing actually in that is that customers have been telling us for years to be more agile. Okay, I appreciate that a pandemic like this might be not something that we all can really plan for, but I think it just demonstrates just how agile we can be. And there is some planning behind that, and that might be last minute planning, but yeah, we can adapt really quickly.
When we need to. Yeah.
When we need to, exactly. Arguably there's been a compelling event, there's been a compelling reason, and so many marketers have had to really consider what their plans are doing right now. And just staying on the topic of COVID, there's going to be a load of marketers that have looked at their marketing plans and they've been told they've got to cut the costs. And they'll be really thinking about how are they going to deliver what the business is looking for to come out strong after the economic downturn with a lot less money. And my response to that is that I think organisations might need to be a lot more creative. This is our opportunity. We're known as being creative. Now we need to demonstrate just how creative we can be. There's a lot of organisations out there that have next to no budget. And it's amazing what they can achieve. So I think being creative. Then there'll be the marketers that unfortunately are in furlough or have lost their jobs. And I would really urge those marketers to use this time really constructively. It's not just organisations that can come out stronger from this, individuals can come out stronger. And so I think there's a real opportunity for those marketers to learn new skills, hopefully in marketing, but maybe it's another skill. Maybe it's a soft skill that's going to really help them. So I think this is unprecedented, sad times, but it's masses of opportunity as well. Don't you think?
Absolutely. I think we're seeing a different vibe from the world and marketers week by week by how they're thinking from that initial panic, pause, switch things off. What do we need to do differently? How do we do it? And for me, it kind of showed that you needed to have a plan in the first place if you were going to pivot it or change it. Your point about customers have been telling us this for years. As marketers, we should be listening to our customers. So it's a bit of a challenge as to perhaps why we didn't listen as much as we could and should have done. The advice that I've been kind of reading and sharing is that any data that we had about our customers and our business more than 2 months ago completely needs to be re-examined now. Customer behaviours have changed very quickly. They may spring back, they may change. We don't know. There's arguments on both sides, but just in terms of what's been happening over the last 2 months, what people are searching for online, Google Trends have shown some crazy stuff, from how to cut your hair at home to needing working from home office equipment. You know, demand for different things has changed all the time, and I think it's absolutely a time to go back to our customers. What are their core needs, and how can we help them right now? And that marketing plan has to be agile and not just a document that we wrote once for sign off and put in the drawer. It should always be a document that we're constantly scribbling on and referring to and using as our map, as our direction to go forward.
I think you're absolutely right. And an old friend of mine once used the phrase flexibility within a framework. And I use that often now. And I think it's true. So looking at from a business's perspective, and I shared on one of the posts that I shared yesterday, businesses need to know what their goal is, and what their goal is beyond recession. And all the decisions that are made now will help them reach that goal.
Yeah.
Yes, there's going to be challenges along the way. But if we've got that goal as marketers, then it's so much easier to then create your plans for the longer term, for the mid-term, and for the short term. So the short term, getting through the next 6 months. And the world is going to continue to change. We've been saying for years, the world is changing really fast. Oh my goodness, isn't it changing fast now?
Yeah.
And while it's at this pace of change, we absolutely need to have our ear to the ground. And Luan, your expertise in social media, you know how much information and data is there just by listening to sentiment. In my world of contact centers, the amount of insight that the contact center world has, they are listening and they are hearing the sentiment all the time. And as marketers, we can adapt to that. We talked yesterday, Luan, about creating plans, and you used to write a marketing campaign that would you'd write it today and it would last the next month, 2 months, 3 months. You can't do that right now.
No.
So I think there's planning for the near term. Then there's planning through the recession. Who knows how long it's going to be? Is it a U? Is it a V? I saw a post this morning saying it could be a W. Whatever that's going to be, when money is tight, how are you going to do your marketing? And then there's the planning for beyond that. And I think it's those that are planning beyond that are the ones that will get there. So this flexibility within a framework, if you've got the goal and you know the strategies you're going to take to get there, then the actions and the plans and the tactical plans, they just need to be really agile and able to adapt. And I'm sure you've seen organizations that have looked at their plans for the next 6 months. How many events are there, face-to-face events, and they've had to say, can't do that anymore. And that switch, and those organizations that don't have the digital capability, for example, are going to have been finding that much harder. So I think there's I think there's much that we can do as marketers and much that we can plan, but still being agile.
I think, I mean, listening is one thing. I love that world of social media that my ideal world would be to have a dashboard screen up that was just monitoring conversations all day long. I generally think, that you can gather so much, but that's the tactical part. And it's about, with your underlying plan and your strategies, it's just the nuancing and the tone of voice on the messaging that's changing right now. The big plan and the goal hasn't changed quite so much. And one of the things that, again, we talk about, absolutely the key to this, and actually the danger with social media and digital is that people very often dive straight in. The challenge is that actually you need to strip this back all the time, ask the why and the purpose, and go back to the traditional marketing models. Again, we were talking yesterday about SWOT and PEST and 5 forces, and the stuff that we learned 20 years ago is still so relevant and useful frameworks to use and to keep your focus on.
And to be honest, Luan, what you and I both know is that qualified marketers, and dare I say chartered marketers, are the ones in the best position to be able to help organisations through this. And of course, I'm going to say that with my background, but now is a really important time for marketers to be staying up to date. There's some of them have time to get themselves up to date. But we also need to make sure we retain that staying up to date, which is what Chartered Marketer is all about. And I think there's it's whether you're doing free training, whether you're doing paid training, whether you are learning through listening to things like what we're doing today, it's that keeping up to date. And like you say, it comes back down to the basics. For the qualified marketer, you know why you're doing the social media. You know why you were doing the face-to-face events. You know why you were doing things. And I appreciate there's lots of marketers that are not qualified, that have not had the CIM training, that will be screaming at us now saying, I know why, I know how to do it. And which I totally appreciate. But I think it does come back to the basics. And right now, coming back to basics and looking at what you're trying to achieve, how you're going to achieve it, and listening to putting the customer right front and center. If I dare I go back to the marketing definition, it's all about understanding and satisfying customer needs and wants, mainly needs, because they don't necessarily know what they need. They only know what they want. So it is about getting back to basics.
And I think, this isn't an advert for being chartered at all, but I think what it gives us in the fact that, why we talk to each other about this stuff all the time, and why we understand the importance of the basics, is another topic that we touch upon is the confidence. And I think when you know this stuff and you've got that training and it's been in your back pocket and you've done it for years, you have a confidence, whether you're a lone marketer, whether you're a consultant marketer, or whether you're in a team, that actually the planning tools that you've got are right and they're going to work because they've been around for so long and you're taught them and you're assessed on them and you use them. So having that confidence at the time where you're probably talking budgets, as you said about decreasing budgets, maybe wanting more budget to market yourself out of this situation, I think coming back to the core is what's going to give marketers the confidence to have their plans in place, to be able to work their plans, however flexible they need to be over whatever time period.
And you know what, the confidence piece, and if I do a full circle back to COVID, there's going to be a lot of marketers that are going to be really hit on their confidence, and I would just really encourage those marketers to look through to the future, look at what's possible and what's going to come out of this. I think building your confidence in your knowledge, building your confidence in learning and talking to others. One of the things that I get a lot from is talking to others, talking to you, Luan. It's I always learn something, and if not one thing, then multiple things. And so I think if those that may be at home, working in a lone environment, whether that is because they've been sent to work from home, or whether it's as a consultant. There are consultants that are losing a lot of business at the moment as well because of budget cuts. And I would just really encourage you to be talking to each other and learning from each other and looking at what the opportunity is. There's going to be a lot of opportunity on the other side of this. And I think marketers are going to be in a really strong position to help those organisations that are looking to grow. There will be organisations that right now cash flow says they can't afford to do anything, but it won't be long before they start looking at cash flow and saying, right, how do we come out stronger? And there's been enough recessions now that business leaders do understand that they have to invest to come out stronger. So I would like to think that there will be an increase in marketing investment, and therefore being able to plan our way out of this, I think will be really important.
I think you're right, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to do these lives, because I get to have so many conversations like this, and sometimes it's not with an agenda. It's more just a, are you around? Can we have a catch up, see how each other's doing, and checking in? And I think that's one thing over the past 2 months that has been good, that we've been able to do that. And I think the question about how are you and how are you doing is so much more genuine and understanding, and we've been able to share situations and perhaps be more open and honest about the work we're doing or the challenges we're facing, not just work, but how we're all working from home as well, and without wanting to put marketers into just the it's about comms area, because we've been talking about strategic planning, is that one marketer I spoke to earlier this week, I said, if you could do one thing differently in your business after this, what would it be? And he said, just to communicate with each other across the business, with clients more, the importance of that staying in touch with people, finding out the needs and wants. Another model going right back down to Maslow and the belonging and needs and safety. I think that being more human about it and having conversations will actually benefit our plans. We don't, sometimes planning, I think, seem to be quite a corporate process, and documents and presentations and sign off procedures. And actually, to be more agile, we need to all just talk to each other a bit more, see what's going on, what we can do, and how it's going to work better.
Absolutely, and that we could start a whole conversation about
Yes.
robotics, automation versus the human touch, where my view is a balanced approach. But so, Luan, you're talking to others then. So tell us who else you're going to be talking to.
I am. So yes, I started off with a plan of 5. It's already looking like I might add some more. So I'm going to. So thank you for being first on this. So next week, I'll pop the dates on my LinkedIn later. Next week, I'm going to be speaking to Bryony Thomas, who is a marketer as well. She's author and founder of Watertight Marketing. The following week, someone we both know and work with through CIM boards is Professor Jonathan Deacon from the University of South Wales. I'm excited to talk to him.
Interesting.
Yes. Dave Stevens, who's the chair and co-founder of the Business Marketing Club. I did a webinar with them yesterday, some webinars next week. So we're going to talk specifically about B2B marketing as well, and the challenges that they're facing right now. And then on the 11th of June is a good friend of mine who I also met through CIM, local volunteering. So it is a big part of my world. Penny Eccles, who is ex-marketing director from Nottingham Trent University and now a consultant in higher education and student recruitment. We've got different topics each week, but all kind of on a theme of the importance of marketing planning and marketing fundamentals. So I will keep posting about them. I'm really impressed that we've managed to stick this to the 20 minutes that we said we would, because our conversations can sometimes go on for more than an hour. So thank you hugely for doing this with me. I hope those that are watching live and recording have found this valuable. I know we're both really happy for you to connect with us on LinkedIn. If you're not already, reach out to us to have conversations. Anything else you want to add, Leigh?
No, absolutely. Thank you so much, Luan, for having me, and have a good rest of the day.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Bye.
Bye.